And we are here going to check out the ghost center, or Draugasetrið in Stokkseyri, to the south of Iceland. And this is a pretty cool place here, Stokkseyri, here to the south, and my friend over here is going to tell you more about that. And so yeah, we're going to walk through the museum. We're going to have probably be scared a little bit, so that's why I did it on daytime, so you wouldn't be too spooked. And we'll hear some ghost stories, and then we'll maybe check out the elf museum also. That's also located over here. So a lot of things happening here. But I'm going to switch. Hi there.
Thank you. Hi there. My name is August, and I'm kind of a manager of the ghosts, but they manage me actually. And yes, this is a 6,000 square meter building that we have here in Stokkseyri. Beautiful area and beautiful location. Here we have the Elf Museum. Unfortunately, we have it closed right now, but we're going to open it soon, and we're going to check that out later on. But let's just move forward here.
Yep.
Basically, like on the right here, we can see Fjöruborðið, which is the best lobster soup that you can ever get in Iceland.
So this is the place that I was going to visit today, but unfortunately my boy is sick, so we're going to do that in May again. So just just so you know, guys, stop that. Yeah. So just so you know, there's a beautiful coffee house over here. There's a lot of things to do here, right? In this.
Definitely, and I was actually shocked about that because I came here the first time, I think 2015 or 16 or something like that, and I didn't know that there was actually a swimming pool here, and there's a kayak rides, there's a horse rides. There's a lot to do here actually in Stokkseyri.
How many live here in the?
I'm actually not quite sure about it. I think there are around 400 or 500, but then again, on summertime it increases a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah.
Perfect.
But that's the walk to the Ghost Museum. As I said before, this is like 6,000 square meter house, but the Elf Museum is around 1,500 square meters, and the Ghost Museum is around 1,000 square meters. And it was built in 1967, so it's quite old. And it used to be like a fishing, basically like
fish factory.
Yeah, fish factory. Yeah.
So there was substantial fishing here that people are.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of harbor. I just want to show you guys a little bit here on the harbor side, so just to see the small, beautiful harbor here.
Exactly. They used to come in here, and I actually spoke with an old fisherman who came here, and I don't know if you see it in the video, but there are some poles out there that you can see because it's really shallow, basically the ground. So there's a special route that you have to take in order to get to the harbor. And when you see the poles, you cannot go inside because it's too shallow.
Too shallow.
So you have to take it when the waves are, you know.
Yeah, so when the tide is
up,
up, then you
precisely.
It's a bit hard to do fishing in these kind of situations.
And there is actually like a lot of boats who have stranded here because of that, because they didn't know the perfect route for it. And that's also.
Any ghosts there?
Yeah. We'll see it in a little bit.
So hi Alice, hi Alexa, hi Brady and Manuel and Bernadette. So a bit of a spooky entrance here.
And the funny thing, light bulbs and stuff on the night, and I always hear new sounds, and it can be a little bit scary.
I can believe it. It's a pretty scary place. I walked through this once. And
one thing here is that is quite interesting. This is actually the first computer moved to Iceland, or like imported to Iceland. And I think your cell phone is more capable of processing power than this computer. So here we are in the Draugasetrið, and this is the ghost bar, or Draugasetrið bar, where we have like parties and people can sit down and enjoy the view, which is of course amazing.
So you can have like groups coming together and they enjoy before they walk through the museum and get scared.
Exactly, and a lot of people actually they come out again because they're so scared. And then we have a sitting table here so the rest of the family can enjoy it.
So sometimes people get a little bit of beer before they walk through.
Some of them, actually not that many though. It's mostly the kids who run outside because it's kind of scary for them. But then again, it's more about the Ghost Museum. The idea about the Ghost Museum is to make or tell the story about the Icelandic ghost, which is like actually goes far. And if you see the ghost in the corner over there, well, this is like Móri. And Móri is basically the name for Icelandic ghost. It's like a female ghost is called Skotta, and then the male ghost is called Móri. And this is our Móri.
And this is a drunkard, right?
Yes.
Famous kind of drunkard that frequented this place in the Highlands, and he just really liked his drink. And when he passed away, he kind of settled there.
Yeah, you know the story.
Yes.
Yeah, and then also like, this area basically is filled with ghosts. Yeah, I can actually state that because I've seen a few of them.
Okay.
So.
There's a ghost there, photo that I noticed when I was walking here.
Exactly.
So there were these two men that were working on their rowboats, as you see here in the coast at the coastline here. Here, outside, you see the coastline over here. And they were tending to the boat, and then there's a third person that arrived when the photographer was processing the photo. He saw this third creature here that wasn't with them on the day when they took the photo. And it said that one of these guys over here, he had a Móri following him, or ghost following him. So this is probably him.
Yeah, Selnesmóri, it's called.
Selnesmóri?
Yeah, Selnesmóri, yeah. Okay. Seljanesmóri.
These ghosts kind of often bear the names of the places.
Yeah, on a location.
Places that they haunt.
The ghosts are basically, what do you kind of say, like they are kind of stick to their place all the time. They don't move around in Iceland. You always have like specific ghosts in every area.
Yeah.
Depending on like how they actually like passed away.
But there are also stories about ghosts that follow some families around.
Yes.
They follow for 9 generations. That's one of the stories that sometimes happen. And I just want to look at the Iceland map over there. That's known locations of ghosts or named ghosts in Iceland.
Yeah, and also like there in the early days, there were a lot of deaths basically in Iceland because of just the Black Death. There were also like ships stranding and etc. So people actually in the early days, they believed a lot in ghosts, and they actually turned out to be true. So many people, if you go around the country, then a lot of people actually have a story about some ghost in that area, because it was hard also in the early days to think about like the afterlife and etc.
So you see, there's a lot of white dots there.
Yeah, these are like nafngreindir draugar á Íslandi, which means basically that these ghosts are named because they have been seen in Iceland.
Yeah, so these are frequent flyers.
Yes, people have often seen them.
I like this also. This is one particular thing that I like to tell people about. When we do a folklore walking tour in Reykjavik, so we talk a little bit about ghosts and how to make an Icelandic ghost and so forth. And so this is basically one of the things that some ghosts like in Iceland, that they are less vicious if they get food. So people kind of tend to have a tray for them left on the table. So just so the ghosts won't be as angry and won't cause much mischief.
Exactly.
And sometimes even they had beds, right? They had their own beds and food on the table. And
exactly. Just to keep them calm, so you won't be annoyed by them. Yeah. But usually they're really friendly. But dried fish and rúgbrauð, like here we can see this is a rúgbrauð, and then dried fish. This was particularly favorite of the ghosts.
Okay.
So people actually thought and actually still think that this is like a kind of a trend. Then you get rid of them from your apartment or house.
So fish jerky and the sweet brown bread
rúgbrauð.
that we have, rúgbrauð.
Yeah.
That's a special appetite for the ghosts.
Yes, exactly.
Sounds good, sounds good. I have something in common with the ghosts, I think.
Yeah, rúgbrauð with the butter, that's the best. And hard fish, and dried fish.
So here they have a small bar, and
Yep.
as I said, they can tend to groups here, and of course families, and you see here are the prices, and so shall we?
I think you should head in,
Okay.
if you're not scared to do it.
Yeah, I'm perfectly okay. I've seen a couple of ghosts, so they need to be very vicious to scare me. So do I get an audio guide, or
Yes.
how does it?
Yeah. Basically, what we have is that we have the Ghost Museum is based on 24 stories, Icelandic ghost stories.
So 24 stories, guys. I'm gonna tell you a couple. Not gonna tell you all, of course.
And the tour takes approximately 45 minutes. And some like to listen to them. The kids are not that interested in it.
Okay.
It's a little bit too long. But it tells the Icelandic basically around this area, Stokkseyri.
Okay.
So
Most of the ghost stories are from the area.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because this area, especially because, as I said before, there are so many ships who have like stranded here because of the shallow sea which comes here. So there are a lot of ghost stories from the east east area in Iceland.
Okay. So are they just? I'm just curious. Are there boats, fishing from here now? Or no.
They actually.
This is too hazardous.
Yes, it's too shallow basically for boats to come in, so they stopped it because they were overstranding or something like that. And as well, there are only few people who know how to actually go into the harbor.
Okay.
Right now.
Yeah, of course. I think it's a very. I was once a sailor for a short time, and I would not like to have that adventure. So so I'll just put on play,
Yes.
guys.
So each story is just marked with 1, 2, 3, 4, and you see the marking when you go inside.
Okay. And guys, I'm gonna tell you some of what's happening, but of course I will not tell you all of the stories or try to translate them. But we'll just walk through the museum. I'll stop at a couple of places, and yeah, we'll see how it goes.
And enjoy it.
Sure I will. Tack för mig.
Thank you. See you later. If you're alive.
So guys, is it dark enough for you guys? So like they said, this is a 1,000 square meter I'm going to try to listen to I'm looking at the story for number one. Number one, here you go, come on. Okay, number one. And I'm told that people are, there are gonna be some ghosts that will scare me here. So let's. So this boy, 20-year-old, he went here to Stokkseyri, and he was fleeing a volcanic eruption, and he was crossing a river. And of course, the rivers are sometimes raging because when there's glacial flooding in the south of Iceland, then what happens is that there are glacial flooding that come with them. And he comes to a farm and he asks for shelter. These were the times of the Lakagigar eruption and the so-called maize hardships. So he was basically denied shelter by the farmer. I'm sorry for that. I'm trying to listen and try to tell you what's happening. So he was denied shelter by the farmer, and he was trying to get to the next farm. So there was a person behind me all of a sudden, very comfortable feeling, and just left. That was nice. And he died on the way, and after that he started harassing people that were people that were passing here in the vicinity where he died, and yeah, he of course started attacking them and causing them all kinds of mischief. I see it's pretty dark for you guys, so you won't see what's happening. I assure you it's pretty gloomy. Glass entranceway here, and of course one of the morals of these kinds of stories were kind of is that you should never deny shelter to people that are asking for it. That was not that's one of the key things in Iceland. You should never deny people shelter if they ask for it. So things are going spooky around me. Things are moving, and now we're up to 6. So ghosts can be various, it doesn't need to be a man. There is a ghost called Ghostalappi, or the ghost dog here. And there's also a story about the famous, what's it called? The bull I don't remember. So there was this ghost that returned repeatedly after being put down by priests, and he returned as the bull Glæsir a couple of times after that. Þorgeirsboli. So that's one of the key things. If you were a magician in Iceland, you could basically resurrect people and creatures and let them do their bidding, your evil bidding. And one of the most famous one is called Þorgeirsboli. Þorgeirsboli to the north of Iceland. And of course he was resurrected by a wizard or a magician to do some harm to So they were just selling the last, at least it was seen in just 2003. So it's not a So one of the most noteworthy things about female ghosts, they're often called skottur, and they would basically, because they had these small hats on their heads and turned backwards, and sometimes they would have red socks on. So with the arrival of medicine, you could, that's Joan. The noises are ghosts trying to scare me here. So with the arrival of medicine, they could conjure up ghosts from these kinds of, they could use that for magic. So one of the types of Icelandic ghosts are called maurapúkar, money goblins, or they are so fond of their gold that they return. And try to guard their treasure, and they are very vicious about their money. So it's it's too dark, but you can see the creature here. There are often ghosts about these poor sailors that They die by the sea, and they are always returning to where they. There are many stories about ghosts that would, if they died by the sea, they would return to their loved ones, just very sad and just to let their kin know that, yeah, they passed away. Jody, there are many morals to these stories, or morals, or all kinds of. Yeah, you should not deny people shelter. Some our stories are like yeah, just these do you want to go in? Some of these stories, it's too dark for you guys. Yes, it's too dark. Some of them just were the creatures trying to let people know that they passed, and they wanted to let their loved ones know about that. So here's a beautiful chamber. You can always hear the acoustics. There was a ghost following me there. Heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. So yeah, I always like acoustics. This is supposedly very scary. Only two. And you need to be at the right age. Soft floor here. Very soft floor. We can see them. Whoa. Nice. Yes, Eric. This Stappadraugur that you're referring to, Eric, Eric Sonsson was warned by a ghost called Stappadraugur. Or Stappa, he's called Stappadraugur, who lives at the intersection of Keflavik and Grindavik. So when you're driving to Keflavik, whoa. Oh, that was a living creature. So guys, do you see? There's only one now. Well, it gives me a chill, Lynn, but not scared. Well, yeah, a little bit, maybe, yes. But not scared, I would say, just more. So, Stappadraugurinn, this is a famous ghost. Some people say that he was hitchhiking back home after a dance or a ball in Keflavik, Reykjanes Peninsula. No, yeah, in Reykjavik, and then he was heading back. And he got lost on the way, or he disappeared on the way to Keflavik. And some people say that he was probably ran over. It was in the 1950s, something like that. and somebody just put him into a shallow hole in the lava fields. So, and he is always hitchhiking back home. And he disappears just before he arrives to Keflavik. I can understand that, Shannon. I would. So here is a pretty famous story about this number. What is this? I am at 23 here. So the Deacon of Dark River is a pretty famous Icelandic ghost story. And the so-called Deacon of Dark River, yeah, I'll tell you maybe a little bit later on. All of a sudden this creature moved behind me. So I'm not going to tell you, I'll tell you a little bit maybe more about that. I've done the whole round. I should have maybe stopped more and tell you more, but hi there.
Hi there, and welcome back. You survived?
Yes, a little bit spooky, but nonetheless great.
Hi. Great.
So I'm just trying to figure this out.
Fantastic. And you're not scared?
Well, a little bit. It's of course these ghosts that are haunting the place. They're a little bit. Guys, just I could have told you more. I should have stopped more at more places to tell you more about the different creatures. But the Deacon of Dark River is a famous ghost story here. So I'll tell you, it's in. So this deacon, he had a girlfriend. She was living in a farm just a couple of hours from his place called Myrká. Djáknin á Myrká, it refers to a place called Myrká, or Dark River, the Deacon of Dark River. He was traveling to the south. He was traveling to the south and to her place, and he went to her place, and then he asked her if she could go to this ball or dance with him, visit him before Christmas on the Christmas day, and she of course said yes. Then when he was traveling back, he was crossing this river, that's this icy river, and unfortunately he fell into the river and died. And a couple of farmers found him a couple of days later, and he was buried in the graveyard by Myrká. His girlfriend, which was a new thing, didn't hear about this. She lived in a couple of hours way past from him, so she didn't hear about his dying. And then on Christmas Day, there was a knock at the door of Gudrun, the girl, and sure enough, the Deacon was outside. He had this robe on, looked a lot like the Nazguls of Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings, and he had this robe on and just beckoned her to come with him, and she half put her coat on and went behind his horse. And when they were riding back, she began to feel suspicious. He didn't say anything, and when they were riding back and they were crossing the river, all of a sudden there was a little bit of a moonlight through the clouds, and she sees bones jutting up from the back of his head as his cap fell a little bit to the side. And she, of course, gets so scared that she gets stiff scared by this thing, but she didn't want to jump off the horse as he was riding really hard. And they came to Myrká, dark river, and he says, "Wait while I fasten my horse, faxi faxi." And when he stops the horse, she jumps off it, runs to the church bells that were by the graveyard, and he is quick behind her, grabs her coat, but fortunately she just put basically half of the coat on, and she managed to wriggle her way out to the coat and ring the church bells. And this Deacon of Dark River slowly goes back to his grave. So there's a longer story, but I'm going to tell you that maybe later on. So should we check the Elf Museum?
Yes, definitely. Let's go. So maybe how big this house is, and I think you will actually realize it when you see the neck of the Elf Museum, which is totally another story, though the ghost. And maybe another video because, it's quite long. It's a maze. Just walk a little bit.
So we're talking about Stapadraugurinn, or the Stapa ghost earlier. So yeah, he kind of like disappeared disappeared in the cars when they arrived to Keflavik, and people picked him. He was hitchhiking at the Reykjanes road, and then he was picked up. People were driving him, and when they came to Keflavik, he just disappeared. So a lot of people have been scared that they are picking up a hitchhiker, and then just a ghost.
Oh. So now we walk into the Elf Museum. So basically, right now we are renovating.
So they're renovating this place, and
Yes.
but I've been here before, and it tells you a good grasp of the Icelandic elves and the hidden people, so-called. But
We go to the other way around. It's so big building, so just like 2 minutes.
No problem. So there's a great coffee house over here, and like I said earlier, Fjöruborðið, the best lobster in the world, possibly. This is in Stokkseyri. Stokkseyri, to the south of Iceland. And as I said, Stephen mentioned that there is a ghost at Höfði, the house where Gorbachev and Reagan met up in 1986 for the peace summit. so there's a British consulate or ambassador living in that house for a spell, and he complained bitterly about this woman in white that was always pestering him at the place, and so there's a legend of this woman in white, the ghost that frequents Höfði house, and some people say that the British ambassador really liked his whiskey, and he really liked a hotel called Hotel Borg. So he just wanted the consulate of the British embassy to be closer to the center of Reykjavik, so he would be closer to his whiskey. But that's another story.
Yeah, so this is the Elfmuseum. It's the same concept. We have like 25 stories, which explains everything about the Icelandic elves. Thank you. So I think we should just walk in, because most people who come here, they are a little bit amazed about the Icelandic elves.
I like the entrance.
Yes, and it's everything was basically built with like rocks from the area. It's all real, it's no plastic. Okay. And this took, I think, 15 years to build the whole concept. Yes. Okay, cool. And we try to like make the experience so it's like as Icelandic as you can get. So let's just walk inside. But I think again we need to take another video just about the Elfmuseum, because it's quite big, and it's all in the same building. So
pretty cool. So this is quite a big place. So yeah. This tells you about the hidden people and the stories about them. What does it tell you more the different elf stories? Or?
Yes, basically like there's different elf stories, and also basically about the history from how we connected two elves, the humans and the elves.
Okay.
Because in the early days it was not considered good if an elf connected to a human being, or like in the real world. Yeah.
So guys, I think we'll do another live stream about this one. Maybe take it a little bit slower. I was a little bit too quick walking through. Maybe I was a little bit too scared. But we're gonna visit here again, because we're gonna check out the lobster house, and then we maybe have the opportunity of going through the Elf Museum as a treat. So guys, let's go to the entrance, and I'll tell you maybe a little bit more ghost stories and different types of ghosts. I felt like I was rushing a little bit because the ghosts were all around me. But they have a really nice gift store also here, and
from Icelandic wool.
Do you have a web shop, or like?
Yes, we have a web shop at Draugasetrið.
Okay.
There you can basically like find all of the stuff that we have actually in store, and yeah, it's handmade from the locals, most of it that we have here. Okay. Because we want to try to push that, of course, up. Okay. So Icelandic wool.
Icelandic wool and handcraft. So yes, I'm gonna post that link, of course, after the tour. This was a little bit quick, but it is what it is.
Small teaser. Yeah. Before the next video.
Teaser, yes. So bless. I am gonna switch.
You.
So, takk fyrir mig. Þetta var bara mjög flott.
Thank you.
We're gonna see you. I think it's on Wednesday next time. Like I said, my baby boy was sick, so we couldn't do more this weekend, but I'll try to make it up to you. Bless.
Þú ert góður í þessu.
Já.